Okay, so welcome. I'm so glad you're all here. Oh, just as a reminder, this week it ends our weekly cycle and begins our every other week cycle. So next Friday, we will not have class, but we will have it the following Friday. So we're going to move to an every other week schedule at this point, okay? Last week we focused quite a bit on upper body strength, and we're going to combine some of that today with some core strengthening as well. So we'll begin with our feet planted firmly on the ground. If they don't touch the ground, maybe put a couple of books under your feet so that you can feel some kind of a foundation beneath you. And then sit back in your chair, close your eyes. Take one hand to your belly and begin to notice the rise and fall of your belly with your breath. Feel how you can soften your belly as you breathe, filling up into your palm and gently releasing away. This connection to the movement of breath is a really wonderful tool that allows us to become present in the now. The breath is always in the now, it's right now. The breath that happened before is gone. The one that will happen in the future hasn't happened yet. So stay connected with the presentness of your breath. Release your palm back to your lap. Sit forward a bit so that you can draw your shoulders up over your hips. Begin to circle your neck around gently. Notice what you noticed. You might hear cricks and cracks and pops. Reverse directions. There may be one area that feels like it needs more attention. You're certainly welcome to pause in any place that feels like it could use some extra stretch. And then make your way back to center. Roll your shoulders back, big circles, up and back and down and forward. And reverse that. Take your shoulders up and forward and down and back. Draw your arms straight out in front of you. Lift them up overhead. Circle them out by your sides and then bring them back to hover above your legs. Inhale to bring them up. Exhale, bringing them down and around. Several more times, warming up the shoulders, warming up the upper back muscles. Two more times, inhaling to lift up, exhaling down and around. And last one. Once again, roll your shoulders back and roll them forward. Draw your arms straight out from your shoulders and bring them back behind you as far as you can, stretching the chest muscles, squeezing the space between the shoulder blades. Now bring them together in front of your chest in a prayer shape. Open them up. Draw them together. One more time. Open, together, and release. Take a deep breath and let it go. Bring your arms out again, and this time bring them up about a foot, so they're in a V-type angle. Again, reach them back as far as you can. Bring them forward in front of your chest. Open up into that wide V and bring them together. Make sure that you're coming up higher than you were for the first round. Up and together. Let it go. Take a breath. Release your shoulders. Make sure they're relaxing down away from your ears. Last iteration of this action, bring your arms up higher into a V closer to your ears. Draw them back as far as you can. Bring them in front of your chest. Inhale to open up into that big V. Exhale, bring them together. Your upper back muscles should be working here to draw the arms back. Bring the hands together and release. Take a deep breath in as you shrug your shoulders up by your ears and release them down. This time, bring your arms out into a goalpost position, elbows in line with your shoulders. So try not to have your elbows down beneath the level of the shoulders, up in line with your shoulders. And then tip your elbows forward and your palms back. They won't go very far. Bring it back to center and flip it the other way. Fingers towards the ground, elbows towards the ceiling. Try to keep your elbows lifted as high as your shoulders. Flip it back up, and again, elbows forward, wrists back, back to center, hands down, elbows up, back to center, and let it go. Relax, just feel the arm muscles releasing, letting go of the work. Bring them out again, back into that goalpost position. Now, open them up as wide as you can so that you're stretching your chest muscles, drawing your elbows back behind you. Squeeze your arms together in front of your chest, connecting from elbows to fingertips. So if your elbows are open wide, try to squeeze them together even if they don't actually touch. Squeeze them in that direction. Open up again, arms open wide, stretch the chest. Exhale, draw them together, elbows to fingertips, connecting. One more time, open and close. This time, stay here, squeezing the forearms together, connecting from the elbows to the fingertips. Lift your arms up so that you're trying to draw your elbow creases in front of your face. It is a lot of work to squeeze the elbows together at the same time that you're lifting them up. You're probably feeling quite a bit of work happening in the shoulders and the chest. Let it go. Oh, take a deep breath. Release. Shrug your shoulders and let them go. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Make sure that you're heavying both shoulders down away from your ears. So if you tend to hike that right shoulder up, just roll it out a couple times. Make sure that it's dropping down. The left shoulder dropping down to find length along that whole side of the neck and the top of the shoulder. And then if you like, you can deepen this a little bit by either taking your right hand to your left ear and adding some weight without pulling. The weight of the arm will be enough. And or you can reach down to the leg of the chair and hold that with your left hand. Both of those are going to lengthen the stretch, so you can choose to do one or the other or both. Make sure that your breath is flowing. To come out of this, if you have the ear, just press into it. Provide a little bit of resistance and then release the arm. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Take your time here. Roll the shoulders out. Make sure they're both dropping down away from your ears. Same options here. You can stay right here if this is enough. You can grab that chair leg and hold on so that you're providing some resistance away from the held hand, or you can add the left hand to cup the right ear. Smooth, even breaths. Again, providing a little resistance. If you have the hand, press into it to come back up and release. Take a look over your right shoulder and then draw the left shoulder back. Come back to center and reverse. Look left, draw back on the right shoulder. Come back to center. Once again, look to the right and now tip your gaze down so that your chin is moving towards your armpit or towards your collarbone. And then you have those same options here. You can hold the chair leg with your left hand. You can bring your right hand to cup the back of your head now, grabbing that ridge at the back of the skull and drawing it down. Come back up, turn center and release. Look over your left shoulder, look down towards the ground. Options to grab the chair leg with your right hand and grab the back of your skull, that occipital ridge, with your left hand and draw down. And release everything, come back to center. Roll your shoulders out, just give it a little wiggle. You can wiggle your head. Take your hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers with the thumbs at the base of the skull and your hands cupping the back of your head. Draw your elbows back, shoulders back, and lean back so that you're leaning your head into your hands, supporting with your hands. Stretching out your chest, lifting up through your upper back. Draw the muscles of your belly in gently to support the shape. Come back up to center. Keep your elbows wide. Lift the back of your skull up. So rather than tipping forward and drawing your head forward in space, you're lifting the back of the skull, which tips the chin towards the notch between the collarbones. Come back up to center. Draw your elbows together this time, or closer together rather, so that they're reaching forward in front of your face. And then lean back, lean your head into your hands, look up, support your head. Reach up with the elbows, a big stretch for your shoulders, your lats along the sides of the waist and the back. And come back up. And this time, do draw your head forward in space gently. Be gentle about how far you go or how much pressure you put on the back of the head. If you have osteoporosis, this may be an option that you want to skip, okay? But if you like this sensation of stretch, you can pull forward and down. If this is not for you, then you can come back upright and take that lifting of the back of the skull so that you're not actually flexing your neck, you're just lengthening the back. And come back up, sit tall, release your arms down, take a deep breath, and let it go. Sweep both arms up overhead. Take a tip over to your right, hold the seat or the leg of the chair, side bend. Come back up, we'll switch to the other side. Reach it up and over. Come back up. This time, take your hands either behind your head, interlacing your fingers, or it could be fingertips to shoulders. Either way is fine. Sit tall, draw your belly in, tip over to the right without support. Stay here. Notice how the muscles of the side of your waist, right in the front and the back as well, have to work to support the weight of your body in this side bend. Slowly lift back up to sit tall. Same thing on the other side. Tip over and stay. As you stay, notice the engagement of the muscles. These side waist muscles, slightly in the front, And around the back, along the spine, have to work pretty hard to hold you in this side bend. To bring you out of it, they also have to work. Come up slowly. And release your arms. Sweep your arms up overhead, deep breath. Take a twist to your right. So one hand comes outside the leg and the right hand comes either to the back of the chair or behind it. Turn your head towards your right shoulder. Come back to center. Both arms reach high with a nice deep breath in. Exhale, twist over to the left, same thing. Looking over towards the left shoulder, sitting tall. And come back to center. Fingertips to shoulders or hands behind your head. Take a turn to the right. Pull your belly in and turn. So this time you're having to, instead of using the leverage of your arms, you're having to use the core muscles to create the twist. Come back to center and turn the other way. Turn to the left. Back to center. One more time each side. Turn. Back to center. Turn left. Back to center. Release your arms. Take a deep breath in and out. Sit forward towards the edge of your chair. Extend your right leg out in front of you and take your arms into a cactus shape. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze your elbows and your knee towards each other. Lift your knee up to your elbows. Inhale, open up the arms, extend the leg. Exhale, curl it in. Inhaling, open up. Exhaling, curl. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Put it down. Lengthen the left leg. Arms open wide. Deep breath in. Curl in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Extend and curl. One more. Extend and curl and release your leg. Take your arms up high overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, curl your knee in, draw your elbows down. Similar action. Inhale, release your foot, open up your arms. This time, exhale, right knee to left elbow. Twist. Inhale, come up. This time, right knee to right elbow. Try crunching in the side of your waist. So you're curling in the side and bring it back down. We're going to repeat that whole sequence. Take a deep breath. Knee to center. Inhale up. Knee to left arm. Inhale up. Knee to right arm. Side crunch. And reach up. Let your arms relax. Okay, we'll switch sides. Extend out. Reach your arms up high. Deep breath in. Curl to center. Inhale, reach. Twist this time. Right elbow and knee connect. Inhale, reach. Side bend. Curl into the side. And reach. One more time through the whole cycle. Curl into center. And reach. Take the twist. And reach. And take the side crunch. And reach. Release. Sit back in your chair, rest your back against the back of the chair, and take a few breaths. Once again, sit forward, sit tall, extend your arms out, pull your fingertips towards the ceiling. And then pull your fingertips towards your shoulders as well as your thumbs towards your shoulders and press out strongly through the arms. Should feel like a fairly intense amount of work for the hands and the forearms. And then press your fingers down towards the ground, wrists reaching out left and right, and then curl your fingers in towards your palm. That's gonna deepen that stretch across the forearm. And let it go, shake it off. Make gentle fists and roll your wrists around. And roll them the other way. Open and close your fingers wide as you can. Curl them in tight like fists. Open up wide and curl a few more times. Really deliberate action. Spreading those muscles as wide as you can, curling them in as tight as you can. One more time. Open up and close. Bring your palms together. Elbows go out wide. So you want to have your forearms parallel to the ground with the palms pressing together. Then press your wrists towards the ground and your elbows up towards the ceiling. It's just a tiny little movement to stretch out the wrists. Then we'll flip that over. Backs of the hands come together. Again, forearms parallel to ground as best you can. Then lift the wrists up, keep them connected so they may not lift very far, elbows dropping down. It's a tiny little stretch. Well, it's an intense stretch, but from the outside, it doesn't look like much. Some people may have more flexible wrists and their elbows may drop lower than mine. Let that go, roll it out. Reverse directions. Wiggle your fingers, shake it off. Sit tall. Make sure you're sitting towards the edge of your chair. Lift your arms up and then pull your arms down, elbows by your sides, draw them back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades and the elbows towards each other. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze it back. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze it back. Now, same action, but we're going to work the back muscles a little bit more. Lean forward. Now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. I'm not rounding my spine, right? I'm not going to flex forward. Instead, my spine is going to remain long and upright, and I'm just going to tip forward at the hips. Reach up through the arms. And then pull them back, squeeze in. So you've got a bit of a forward tilt now in your torso. And pull back. Try not to round your back. No flexion of the spine. We're in extension here, almost like it's a back bend. And pull back. One more time. Breathe. And pull. Stay here. Lean forward a little more. And then drawing the shoulders down and back, lift your chin. It might just be a little, it might be a lot. And release. Relax, take a deep breath. And let it go. Open your right leg out to the right. Lay your right forearm on your right thigh and stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling. Stay here and breathe. If you want to come lower, you could slide your hand down the inside of your leg, holding your calf or your ankle. If that's appropriate for you, you can definitely take that option. Or you can stay up high on your forearm. Now to come out of this, notice the side waist muscles of your left side. Make those muscles work to pull you back up to straight and relax the top arm. Same thing again with an optional add-on. Okay, so either forearm to thigh or hand down your leg, reach up. Then take your top hand to your waist or your hip. You can stay here. Or if you would like to work these side waist muscles more, lift the bottom arm and extend it out. Pull your belly in, feel the whole core of your body working. Lift up and bring everything back to center. Other side, step it open, forearm to thigh, top arm lifted. Pause here, find this side angle shape. Decide if you want to stay up or come down further, it's up to you. Stay and breathe. Draw your attention to those right side waist muscles and make them work to lift you back up. So don't use the bottom arm to push up, but instead use the top arm to lift up and use these side waist muscles to draw you up straight. One more time. Forearm or lower, pause. If you want that additional work, take the top hand to your hip, extend the bottom arm. You're staying in that side leaning posture. You're working hard. Lift back up. Bring everything back to center. Take a breath. And let it go. Now, make sure that you are close to the edge of your seat. Once again, I'm going to turn my chair sideways so that I can show the appropriate shape of the spine for this exercise. You're going to come towards the edge of your seat. Draw your belly in. Make sure you're sitting tall. So we're going to lean back, but as you lean back, the spine stays stiff like a stick, okay? So rather than rounding back and creating a curve shape or creating a back bend shape, neither one of those. A long extended spine, straight and lean back, so that the abdominal muscles are having to work to have you in this position. You can have your hands on your legs for some support. Stay here and breathe for a couple more breaths. Keep that spine long. Lift back up. I'm going to repeat that action going back and forward. Keep your spine straight and still. Okay, so lean back and pull up. Lean and lift. Make sure you're not flexing your spine or extending your spine. Neutral spine. Lean and lift. Lean and lift. Now draw your hands together in a prayer shape at the center of your chest. Lean back, draw your belly in. Make sure you're working those belly muscles to hold your spine long. Take a turn to one side. It doesn't matter which side. You're still leaning back. Come back to center. Turn to the other side. Come back to center and come upright. So we'll repeat that action. If you need to take a break between rounds, feel free. You can come back, take one turn each side and come back to center. Or you can join me in staying back and turn from side to side, okay? You decide the level of difficulty that's appropriate for you. Take your hands to your heart, draw your belly in, lean back, straight spine. Take a turn to one side, we're still leaning back. Remember, we're still leaning back, shoulders are back behind the hips. And center, if you need to come up straight, come up, and then come back into it, or stay leaning back, turning side to side. Okay, I'm going to do one more round. You're still leaning back. And come up to center. Take a deep breath and let it go. For the next round of those, it's called boat pose, by the way, that shape is called boat pose. For the next round of boat pose exercises, we're going to tip our boat to one side and the other. So once again, you'll be forward towards the edge of your chair, hands to heart, sit tall, lean back. Remember, the spine is straight. It's in a neutral, straight position. Now, you're going to lean over to one side. So lean into your left cushy cheek. Try to keep the spine straight so that you're not side bending. You're just leaning. Come back to center. Lean to the other side. come back to center. We're still leaning back in space, listing to one side, listing to the other side. You're still leaning back. If you're not leaning back, the abdominal muscles aren't working. Come back up, sit tall, relax your hands. Take a deep breath and release it. One more breath and let it go. Draw your feet back a bit so that they are closer to the legs of the chair. Lean your torso forward. Keep your spine long. Press down into your feet. Press up into a hovering chair pose. And press up to stand. All right, so now you can face the seat of your chair. If you need to change the orientation to the camera, you can do that. You're going to face the seat of your chair. Have your feet fairly close to the chair legs to begin. We're going to take a forward bend with our hands on the seat of the chair. So if it is too much for your back or your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, to do this with straight legs, you can bend your knees. All right, so bend your knees. You can come down just halfway like I am, spine parallel to ground. Or if you want to fold in further, you certainly may. It's up to you. You can bend your elbows and drop down further if this is appropriate for you. Some of you need to keep your head above the level of your heart. If you have eye issues or high blood pressure, it may be more appropriate for you to stay up higher and bend the knees. All right, so either way is fine. If you're down, lift up. Walk your feet back about a foot. Lean your weight forward so that your shoulders are over your wrists and palms. So now you're weight bearing in the arms. Push the ground away so that you feel your upper back reaching up towards the ceiling. Your arms are working, shoulders, triceps, chest. Keep breathing. Walk back in, bend your knees, and press up to stand. Roll your shoulders back and give it a little wiggle. Once again, bend your knees, place your hands on the chair. Walk back a little bit. It might not even be as far back as you were. We're going to do some mini push-ups. Bend your elbows back and have your weight move forward over your wrists. It can be just a little tiny bend and then press up to straight. You don't need to come down very far, just a couple of inches. Press down and up. Do make sure that you are weight bearing in your arms. So if your weight is all the way back in your legs, in your hips, bending your elbows and pressing up isn't going to do much to strengthen your upper body. You want to shift the weight forward, weight over your wrists and hands, shoulders over your wrists and hands. Bend the elbows and press away. The elbows can come straight back, or if you're more comfortable taking them out to the sides, you can certainly do it that way as well. It doesn't matter. You can turn your hands out. Whatever position of your hands, wrists, and arms is comfortable for you is fine. Just keep going. A few more. Little tiny bend and straighten. Building strength in the upper body. Walk your feet in, bend your knees, and press up to stand. Roll your shoulders back. And stand well. Stand in mountain pose. Pressing your feet evenly into the ground, lifting up the thigh muscles, drawing the belly muscles in, chest is lifted, shoulders are relaxed, dropping away from the ears, and the back of the head and the crown of the head are gently lifting up. Keep breathing. And then come back to sit in your chair. So we worked the backs of the arms quite a bit. Let's give them some length now. Lift your right arm up above your head. Drop your hand back to the base of your neck or down between your shoulder blades. Reach the elbow up towards the ceiling as best you can. You want to try to get the elbow directly up over the shoulder. I know that's not available for everyone, so just do your best. Go in that direction so that you feel the stretch along the back of the upper arm. And let that go. Other arm, reach it up, drop it back. Elbow up high over the shoulder. Keep reaching it up. This is good for joint mobility in the shoulder as well as stretching out the back of the upper arm, the triceps. And let it go. Take a deep breath. Release. Take your right arm across your body, draw it over and take a look over the right shoulder. Release it. Left side, draw it across, look over. And release it. Take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back, draw your arms down towards the chair seat, and then maybe lift your hands back away from you. So towards whatever is behind you. Release that. Sit back in your chair. Rest your back against the back of the chair. Feet planted well. Shoulders soft. Close your eyes. Draw your attention back to your belly. Maybe place a hand there if you like. Feel the rise and fall of your breath into your palm. Allow everything to soften. Rest your hands on your lap. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Allow the sides and the back of the neck to release. Allow the muscles of your arms to melt. Draw your attention to your face and smooth the crease between the eyebrows. Release the little tiny muscles around the eyes, around the nose, and around your mouth. Soften your tongue. Release your back molars so the jaw muscles can let go. The front of the throat is soft. Your breath returning back to a natural, unforced rhythm. You don't have to control your breath or manipulate it in any way. Let yourself be breathed. Receive the support beneath you. the chair beneath your seat and your back, the floor beneath your feet. You might even feel the beating of your heart. Let your next breath be a full, deep breath. Release it out. Begin to draw your back away from the back of the chair. Once again, drawing shoulders over hips, sitting tall. Draw your hands together at the center of your heart. Breathe in deeply, lift the chest into your thumbs. And let it go. Namaste. I bow to you. Thank you so much for showing up, sharing your time with me, and allowing me to guide you. Have a beautiful day.